All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Eric.
Welcome, Matthew. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, good to be on here. I know that we've got some attendees coming from different places, and what I'll just put in the chat section is let us know where you're joining us.
Yeah, and sorry I haven't been able to attend like I am today on your other weekly Vimeo webinars. So I really appreciate you doing what you've done so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad that we're doing this together, and I think that uh, it allows us to. Whoops, Eric. There we go. All right. Good, good, good. So looks like we'll have people joining us here in just a minute, Eric. So for right now, it's you and I, but I can see kind of me in the center and you in the top right, and then I'll work my magic on how to adjust that as we wait for people to join us.
Sure.
And then I just want to see for admin purposes, Eric, are you able to see this slide?
I am. It's down at the bottom. It says scene 2 below it, but yes, it's in a small. It says next actually on it.
Yep. So is it visually big enough for you to see?
It's very, and now it is.
Okay.
Now I can see it just fine.
Nothing like us learning technology on the fly, eh?
It is, yeah, and it's very cool technology.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Eric, we're joined. Let's go ahead and get started. We've got people that are joining us. So, welcome everybody. Let us know in the chat section where you're joining us from. I'm pretty sure grammatically that's incorrect, what I just said there. But Eric, let's kind of kick off the topic today that we have for folks. And you and I were talking before we got started today about thinking through the reasons why people are slow to get started on personalized video. And topic number one is how can we help folks overcome the initial fear and resistance of sending that first video and then doing it in a way that gives them the confidence and the assurance that they can do this?
Yeah, it's a great topic that I hear all the time. And what I'll do is share my story of me and how what occurred with me because I know exactly where everybody is when they start out. And I know that feeling. And so for me, I was absolutely convinced that I could not create a video and send it to somebody because the person on the other end would go, "Why is this numbskull sending me this video?" And I can tell you that I sat and I had the paralysis of analysis and I re-recorded and re-recorded. I can tell you, think of it this way: when you're walking down the hallway of an office building and or a hospital and you see your prospective customer walking up towards you, do you say to yourself, you know what, I've got to walk over to the left and practice my script 14 times in front of the wall? No, you just start talking. And that's what you have to do. And I can tell you that if you know what you want to say beforehand, in the respect that if you're going to walk into this person, it's the same thing with a personalized video. And all you need to do is you hit record, you stop, and you hit send. And it's really that easy. And I know people are rolling their eyes like, I don't think I can do this. But just think of yourself the first time you walked down a hallway and you had to talk to a prospective customer. It's the same exact thing with a personalized video. Same thought process.
Yeah, that's a great response. If you're just joining us, we're discussing topic number one, which is how to overcome that initial fear and resistance of sending that first personalized video. So my response is think of it as how to resist the temptation to sell and replace it with share. And I know that that sounds like a pretty broad stroke component, but we all know the difference between what it sounds like and what it looks like to share rather than sell. So, the way that I overcome my initial fear and resistance of sending personalized videos is I focus on giving them ideas rather than information. You see, in sales, we have bought into this mindset, and the mindset, the mindset goes something like this. Hey, I am going to try to gain access to you. I'm going to try to persuade you to give me an appointment. And what I focused on was, what if I took away that bias of quote unquote trying to secure an appointment and rather just captured their attention by being knowledgeable and personalized? And so that's how I would answer, um, the first topic, Eric, that you and I are involved in. And then, Eric, you and I talk about this all the time at Virtual Sales RX whenever we're coaching or with the team. It's finding the right balance and really looking at this from a time management standpoint. And so I'll go first with respect to how I think about time management. So I've created what I simply call a ritual or an atomic habit. For people that know me from LinkedIn or have seen, I do 7 before 7:01 a.m. It's just a gamified way for me to be able to get my personalized videos in from a prospecting, from an account management standpoint. And what I've had great success is Monday through Saturday from a time management standpoint, because that's always a misconception, right, Eric? Is that people think that we're spending hours on this when in reality, I'm spending less than 15 minutes a day on my primary outreach using personalized videos. And so in my case, people have asked me, well, Matthew, why are you sending out 7 before 7:01 a.m.? And my response is A, it's a ritual, B, it's atomic habits, and then C, it is an opportunity for me to gamify the fact that I'm one of the first people at the top of their morning email inbox. And so what that means is that, for those of us who come from medtech like you and I, 7:01 a.m. is the golden time period for you and I, because we're going to be at the top of their email inbox. And what I tell people is is I think what's happening for me is that when I send a personalized video to someone I want to help 3 weeks ago, I'm collecting an IOU 3 weeks later. I mean, this is all from personalized videos. I mean, the predictability of me being book solid is a really, really great feeling, because the personalized video that I sent 3 weeks ago is now, for lack of a better term, Eric, resulting in an appointment. Do you have any thoughts on how you're thinking through time management, Eric?
Yes, and so I also employ the 7 before 7 strategy, and I love it. And it's just part of what I do and how I determine, how my day starts. But one of the other things that I do is whenever something comes to me, and we are all, I mean, literally, this is, you know, right down within arm's length wherever we are. And whenever I have a thought that comes across my mind, or hey, I need to really document this and send this to prospect X or Dr. Y, I do it right then and there. And it's done. And it's in my phone, it's recorded, it's saved. And when I go for my 7 for 7, or whatever time frame I'm going to do that, it's there and it's ready to go. And so time management is a much different. I'm not setting up my whole video. This is my video studio wherever I am with this. And that's very important to understand. It's not, you don't have to make a set time sitting in front of your workstation, wherever that may be, your computer, wherever it is. You've got it right there in your hand. And that's a very important thing, so you can easily structure the time spent. And again, like you said, Matthew, 15 minutes. I mean, I think if you get really good at this, probably be 10 minutes. And I think 10 minutes a day is worth having, like you showed on your phone, a consistently packed schedule.
Yeah, good point. Eric, I'm using an app. It's like $2 a month. I think of it as my second brain. It's called Tick Tick. And I'll just give you a visual. I have this in quadrants of really, really important, urgent, not that important, etc. But when I have an idea or when I have a to do, I go to what is called Tick Tick, which is top right on my app, and I just record it. And I'm
Hey,
convinced
is
that,
that an app, the Taylor Swift fan app? I just saw that on your phone. Is that it? Is
yeah,
that Taylor Swift fan app?
it is. I was the
Oh,
security guard that was told to stop protecting her at a recent
oh,
concert. A lot of people don't
cool,
know that. Yeah,
cool.
yeah, I was hoping you'd keep that on the down low, but I see not. All
No.
right. So, anything else to cover on that, Eric? Or are we ready to move on to a biggie, which is how we recommend that people crack the content conundrum and really begin to generate engaging ideas for personalized videos.
Yeah, I'm ready. I think this is the biggest topic of them all that we're going to discuss today. This is one that I get several questions about for sure.
Yeah, me
So, what do you?
too.
Go ahead.
Yeah, one of the things that you and I figured out early on was we could teach people how to create personalized videos, do it easily on their phone or their laptop webcam, like you and I are speaking from right now. That was not a challenge to teach people. But what you and I learned along the way is it did not train them on how they can become better communicators. So I think for those of us in professional sales, whether we're doing outreach by email or personalized video, that we have to learn the process of coming up with, for lack of a better term, becoming a copywriter. And becoming a copywriter just simply means that you and I develop a skill set on how to not only understand their challenges, but how in 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minute, we frame our communications in a way that it's not only a pattern disrupt that they're receiving a personalized video from us, but the minute that they press play, we have a skill set of engaging them. We've got a hook, we've got a subject line, we've got a particular topic, and then we have a purpose and a transition and a call to action. And it's one of the things that we teach at Medical Sales RX and Virtual Sales RX is, you know, there are people with us today that their progression is they learn about personalized videos through us. They go to Vidyard, pay $19.99. They press record, and it's crickets. And what they realize is the act of pressing record and creating a personalized video is easy. There's no struggle with that. But what to say through the personalized medium of personalized videos is something that we teach. And so from a topic standpoint, we created something called the cookbook. And so what I would start off by saying, Eric, I think it was wise of us to do that because instead of having people graduate from medical sales RX, virtual sales RX, and go, okay, what do I talk about? We came up with the topics for them. We removed that as an excuse. We came up with the topics that are interchangeable, whether you're a medical salesperson, a commercial real estate, a plumber. We came up with topics that allow us, regardless of industry, to insert our value prop. And so I would say we've done the heavy lifting for people. What about you, Eric?
Yeah, that's a great point. We have done the heavy lifting, Matthew, and a lot of people will ask from different verticals, how is this going to affect what I'm doing in my sales process? It really is all the same. You're trying to create know, like, and trust with the prospective customer. And I would say that one of the things that I have taken over the years of doing this is creating content is all about your heartfelt thoughts and what you want to convey. And so, for instance, if there is something that you're walking along and you say to yourself, you know what, I am very interested in conveying this thought to this individual prospective customer, again, it's right there. It's your phone, it's your diary that you're going to go ahead and hit record, and you're going to create a thoughtful, heartfelt piece of content that you're going to utilize and send as a personalized video. And that's where, instead of, we give you all of the scripts and that we do in virtual sales RX, we give all these to our students, which is fantastic. Add that with a piece of personalized, heartfelt, and meld the two, and you've got yourself a really quality personalized video.
Yeah, that's well said. I mean, in module one, we teach people the 6 P's of how people purchase technology and services. And we always tell people you can talk about anything you want, comma, as long as it's one of these 6 P's. And in fact, you know, just before you and I jumped on here, um, we had a training session. And then right after we leave this, we've got another training session with a professional sales consultant who's going through our course. And just today, we're going to talk about content wise, doesn't it make sense that we create topics and ideas that align with the buyer's journey? It just makes so much sense. We've taken the heavy lifting out of this. And I think that most salespeople are not content creators. They have not yet been taught how to create content. And so we teach that. And I think that's a pleasant surprise for people when they go through the virtual sales RX and the medical sales RX, is they're like, wow, I thought this was going to be about you guys teaching me how to press record. But what they realize is we're really teaching people how to be content creators who happen to use the medium of personalized video to decrease the time that it takes for them to develop know, like, and trust. And so I feel like from all the feedback and the testimonials of people that have gone through our course, that's something that we really yielded on, and I think that was helpful. And so, Eric, let's shift to this topic of how we go about addressing the individual pain points and how we actually tailor our videos for respective different buyers. You want to start us off?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's this is a favorite one of mine because this is why people connect. And if you're addressing a pain point, and again, I go back to the when we talked about content creation, you're really utilizing those pain points for that content creation. And so what I've always talked to people about is, listen, that this A causes B. So let's talk about C in your personalized video and how you're able to convey and then show a solution, and then obviously that creates trust. And what we always talk about is know, like, and trust. Know, like, and trust. And when individuals trust you, first they're going to open your personalized videos on a more consistent basis. They're going to learn from you, and ultimately they're going to want to buy from you. And so that's what I believe in addressing the pain points. That kind of that sequence, what that looks like.
Yeah, I mean, part of, what we're addressing here is how do we create personalized videos that address individual pain points? And how do we, like a bespoke tailor, personalize that for the different buyers that we have? And here's what shifted for us when COVID hit. So anyone who's with us today or you're watching the replay, it's a given that COVID created social isolation in professional sales. The plague hit, we weren't allowed to become face to face with prospects or buyers. And so what you and I did is we shifted to personalized videos during COVID, and we actually increased appointments. We actually increased time spent with busy prospects because we were not waiting for the plague to pass us by. We were bringing value and ideas through personalized video. So when the all clear sign occurred and we were able to see our clients in person, they felt like they knew us. They may even like us. And then in many cases, they began to trust us. And so for me, when I'm developing personalized videos, it's my responsibility to know enough about that particular persona group. My responsibility. And here's a googly for anyone watching us right now, or you're watching us during the replay. Here's a googly. What happened during COVID is not going to change now that we don't think about COVID every day. And that is that what busy prospects are thinking in their crowded email inbox or voicemails, etc. Here's what they're thinking. If this does not interest me enough to cause me to feel like I'm surviving and thriving from the knowledge shared, the price you pay, Matthew, is you're boring. The price you pay is I will avoid you. And so a lot of people think, well, when I send an email, why are they not responding? What we teach at Medical Sales RX and Virtual Sales RX is your real competition is not the 17 other people that have sent them an email. Your competition is indifference. And so what we've created through the use of our method and approach through personalized videos is we've created attention, hands down. I mean, we have statistically proven from COVID 3.5 years ago to now, we have proven that A, we're differentiating ourselves from the sea of text-based email. B, we are opting for attention rather than, hey, will you give me an appointment? We're skipping access and we're creating attention so that the person on the other end of the email, voicemail, DM, etc., is curious enough to actually say, hey, Eric, I'd like to learn more. And so we flip the script on what everybody else is doing. And Eric, as we kind of close this particular session, when you think of tips and tricks or key takeaways from any of these topics which we have discussed, is there any key takeaway that maybe you didn't mention, but it's top of mind and you know that it's really, really going to help somebody?
Yeah, I go to our initial point where we were talking about overcoming initial fear and resistance. This is so natural for everyone. So I just want to relay to people that all of us felt this way. I especially felt this way. I thought to myself, there is no way that I can send a video to somebody else. And if you follow LinkedIn, I send videos now all the time of me in hurricanes and rep scrubs. And, I send videos all the time, every day, sometimes all day long. And it's because I realized that this completely changed the landscape of what I was doing in my business. And it truly did. And so I would just encourage anybody who has that fear, pull out the phone, practice with the video, save it. Don't go back and look at it. Go do it again. Don't save it. Delete it if you want to. Go do it again. And just get yourself in the mode of doing that. And I will guarantee you it will change the landscape of your business.
Yeah, that's a
How
good
about
one.
how about for you, Matthew?
I think for me, it's debunking the misconception that we're sitting around um, in a Hugh Hefner smoking coat making videos all day. I think that is the thing that I want to debunk. I mean, what what I tell people who challenge me with this scenario, well, Matthew, I wish that I had the free time like you to sit around in my pajamas and make videos all day. My response is always the same, is I go, compared to what? So, Eric, I think that by that abbreviated response, compared to what, they know I'm getting ready to punch them in the amygdala. I'm going jab, jab, hook, hook. And they don't have a good answer, the pundits. What they're trying to say is the pundits are trying to say there's no replacement for face to face selling. And then my counter response is you're 50% correct. The 100% answer is modern professional sales consultants become face to face at scale. That is the modern goal of every sales consultant, is to become face to face at scale. So in the compared to what scenario? Compared to jumping on a plane and flying to see a prospect, compared to dropping off brochures to Gloria the Gatekeeper, compared to being stuck in traffic, fueling up on gas, and, you know, trying to stalk a prospect in a parking garage. It doesn't work. And we all know it doesn't work. And when I talk to old school sales leaders, I see imposter syndrome root its ugly face. I just do, because I say to them offline, I go, all right, let's just say that our approach is voodoo magic. It's bogus. Then I say, what is your game plan that is practical, affordable, sustainable, and scalable? And Eric, I never get an answer. I never, ever, ever get an answer. And so my takeaway is we're not replacing face-to-face selling. Rather, we're teaching people how to become virtual and time shifted and do face-to-face selling at scale. So that's what I would end with.
Yeah, that's a great, Matthew, and I totally agree with you. And I have those same conversations with people, and I don't say this, but I do want to say to someone, hey, you've kind of been bumping along at 17, 18, 19% market share for the last 12 years. Maybe what you're doing with that sales there can be an adjunct to it and make you even more successful, reach more potential customers. Why not think about it? And I think you're completely correct. It's the imposter syndrome. But those that are shifting in their mindset have really their eyes open. You could just see when their eyes open, they go, okay, I'm now really word of mouth at scale.
Yeah, well said. So as we close, there's going to be some folks that want to learn more about what we're teaching. Uh, where do you advise them to go?
Yeah, on LinkedIn, you're more than welcome to DM me, Eric Anderson, or obviously Matthew Ray Scott. Also, head over to Virtual Sales RX, and you can .com. You can take a look at that, and everything that we have been talking about today, you can find on virtualsalesrx.com.
And then, Eric, how would you explain to somebody the difference between medical sales RX and virtual sales RX?
Great question. And Medical Sales RX was obviously the platform that was released first, and it was specifically for those in the med tech field. And what we did was take all the successes and everything we learned from Medical Sales RX and created the platform Virtual Sales RX. And what's great is you can go to either or medicalsalesrx.com or virtualsalesrx.com, and you'll be able to access the information you're looking for.
Yeah. On virtual sales RX, Eric, I checked the other day, we're getting, inquiries from interior decorators, plumbers, HVAC, real estate, insurance salespeople, nonprofit leaders, religious affiliation organizations. So it's really this approach applied to any vertical that demands professional selling. So, all right, Eric, thanks for your time today. I'm glad that we're
Yeah.
going to get this in the hands of everybody. For those of you who couldn't make it, no worries. We've got the replay, and you'll get that in your email inbox. Have a good day, Eric.
Thanks, Matthew. Take care.